You feel exhausted, confused, and somehow, like everything is always your fault. You used to feel confident. You used to trust your own memory. But lately, you're not so sure. What if the problem isn't you? Narcissistic relationships don't start with red flags. They start with fireworks. And by the time you see the warning signs, you're already in deep. Here are the signs you might be dating a narcissist. It probably started like a fairy tale, constant messages, grand gestures. I've never met anyone like you. Narcissists often begin relationships with love bombing, an overwhelming flood of attention and affection designed, whether consciously or not, to create deep attachment fast. It feels like destiny. It's actually a pattern. When you're upset, do you feel heard, or do you find yourself suddenly comforting them instead? Narcissists struggle to genuinely empathize. Your pain becomes an inconvenience, a performance, or an attack. Over time, you stop sharing how you feel at all. That never happened. You're remembering it wrong. You're too sensitive. Gaslighting is a manipulation tactic where your reality is slowly rewritten. It's not always deliberate, but the effect is the same. You stop trusting yourself. And someone who doubts themselves is much easier to control. One of the most disorienting parts of a narcissistic relationship is the cycle. Things get tense. There's a blow up. Blame always lands on you. Then suddenly, they're sweet again, apologetic. The person you fell in love with comes back, and you stay, because that version of them is real too. The cycle is the trap. It didn't happen overnight. But you've noticed your friendships have faded. Family feels distant. Every outside relationship comes with friction, a comment, an argument, a guilt trip. Narcissists often isolate their partners, not always through direct control, but through making every other relationship feel harder than it's worth, until the only voice you hear is theirs. Narcissists often carry a deep sense of superiority, a belief that rules don't quite apply to them, that they deserve special treatment, and that others exist to meet their needs. You might notice them dismiss other people constantly, take credit for your wins, or react with rage or cold silence when they don't get what they feel they're owed. One of the most telling signs of a narcissistic relationship is the constant feeling of walking on eggshells. You begin carefully choosing your words and avoiding certain topics, trying not to trigger anger or criticism. Instead of feeling safe expressing yourself, you feel like you're managing someone else's emotions. And over time, that emotional tension can become exhausting, because relationships should feel safe, not like a performance where you're constantly trying to avoid conflict. Many narcissistic relationships follow a repeating pattern. First comes idealization, then devaluation, where criticism, distance, or manipulation appears, and sometimes discard, where the narcissist withdraws completely. This push and pull cycle keeps people emotionally hooked, because just when you're ready to give up, the affection often returns, and that brief return of warmth can make you believe things are finally getting better. But in many cases, the cycle simply starts again. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is a recognized mental health condition. People with NPD often carry deep-seated shame beneath their projected confidence, the controlling behaviors, the lack of empathy, the need for admiration. These are coping mechanisms built over years, often rooted in trauma. That doesn't excuse the harm, but understanding it can help you stop taking it personally. Recognizing these signs isn't about diagnosing someone or villainizing them. It's about you, your well-being, your sense of reality. If you see yourself in any of this, know that what you're feeling is valid, that confusion and self-doubt in these relationships are normal responses to abnormal treatment, and that support exists. If this helped, subscribe for more content on psychology, relationships, and understanding the patterns that keep us stuck. Drop a comment. Have you experienced any of these signs? You're not alone.